Hang on. We're waiting for Maddie to give us the thumbs up.
Should we not say anything?
I'll just stay quiet. And welcome here to Francis North, bringing you tonight's varsity softball game between the St. Charles West Warriors and the Francis North Knights. My name is Gavin Anderson, joined alongside Parker to bring you tonight's action. We have already started the game. We are in the bottom of the fourth inning with St. Charles already ahead this game 2-0. As the batter for the North Knights is Adria Schmidt. Parker, coming into the season, and Adria does get hit by the pitch, but Parker, coming into the season, how do both teams look?
Well, right now both teams have losing records. St. Charles West is trying to still record their first win as they head into the game with an 0-3 record.
And with the Francis North, as that is ripped into the gap, but that is caught by the center fielder, Alyssa King. So that is going to be 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning, as Becca Brissett comes up to the plate. With the Francis North Knights having a 2-4 record, they are looking to get one game closer to 500, as that pitch is going to be high for ball 1. As Becca comes into the game with a 250 average.
And the pitch is low, and Adrian Schmidt steals second.
Currently the count is 2-0 to Becca Brissett. Knights looking to get back into this game, as it is the bottom of the first inning with them losing by 2.
And the pitch is caught. Excuse me, the hit was caught.
That was caught
And we are
by the shortstop, Sarah Picorni.
And we are getting ready to start the second inning, as the score is St. Charles West winning 2-0.
So coming up for the St. Charles West Warriors is their 6, 7, and 8 hitters. So Parker, with the Warriors in this game with a 0-3 record, still looking for their first win, who needs to contribute for the Warriors?
Well, we've got Alyssa King and Sarah Picorni. They've been the team's 2 best hitters lately. Alyssa King coming into the game with a .375 batting average, and Sarah Picorni with a .500 batting average.
With the Warriors only playing 3 games this year and Picorni already having a .500 batting average, that is a great way to start off the year.
Yes, it is. And if they want to get a win tonight, they're going to have both them and the team contribute. Be a big factor.
As the umpire calls for balls in, we are getting ready to start the second inning.
The first batter of the inning will be Lily St. John.
It is actually Ariel Pint for the St. Charles West Warriors. Pint coming in with a .333 average, so she's had a good start to her season, looking to still continue that hot streak that she is in. As the first pitch is coming in, and that goes to the backstop for ball 1. Want to know the count? And the pitch is going to paint the inside corner for strike.
coming in with a .333 batting average. She's been one of the team's best hitters. And the third pitch is high for a ball.
2-1 the count. Three and one the count to Pint. She is playing left field today for the Warriors. That's going to be down the third baseline, and that is going to be out number one of the inning. That was third baseman Ella Pardo to field that ground ball.
Up next to bat is Madison Meyer. Madison Meyer also with a really good batting average at .333. She's been swinging the bat really good lately for the Warriors.
Audrey Sevier on the mound for the Knights. That one is gonna fall in foul territory. Umpires had to think about it for a little bit. Kyla Woods trying to find that one. Took a bad read on it. Oh, won the count.
And the second pitch is low for a ball.
1-1 the count to Meyer. Looking to get the inning started for the Warriors. And that is low and in the dirt for ball two. 2-1 the count.
And the fourth pitch is popped up and caught.
Snow cone there by the shortstop, Adria Schmidt, but she holds onto the ball.
Up next, up to bat is Tori Crawl.
And the pitch is in there for strike one. Tori will be playing right field today for the Warriors.
And the second pitch is low for a ball. 1-1.
2 outs here in the top of the second inning. 1-1 the count. She chases that one out of the zone for strike two. 1-2 the count. St. Charles still has a 2-0 lead here in the top of the second. Drop third strike, and that is going to be the inning for the St. Charles West Warriors.
So far it's been a game of pitching from both teams.
With the 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up for the Knights.
sweating too much. I was giving you those Gavin, because I didn't want to. Well, some of the ones where I made mistakes, that's where I gave you the hand signals. So who's the first batter?
As Audrey Sevier comes up to start off the inning for the Knights. Parker, how does her batting average look to start off today's game? Lily coming in with a 267 average with 1 RBI on the season, as that pitch is a little bit low. Two 2-0 to count to St. John.
And Lily Pardo with a line drive into left field.
Umpire's going to call that fair, just barely fair as well. That is going to start off this inning for the Knights. Perfectly placed hit there by Lily as well. Just right down that third baseline. As Prado is coming up to the plate for the Knights, looking to see if she can drive in her teammate, as that is fouled down the third base side.
The count is 1-1.
Looking to make something out of that one, but swings and misses. And it is a 1-2 count to Pardo. And St. John is going to be safe as she steals second base. And that pitch was a little bit high, so it is a 2-2 count with Lily St. John at second and only 1 out. That ball is just going to be a little bit high. Full count to Pardo. Looking to make something out of this at bat.
And Pardo with a grounder that is foul.
Count is still full here to Pardo. Looking if she can put her team on the board. Here comes the 3-2 pitch.
And Pardo with a line drive into left field.
And that's going to fall in for a single, but they're going to hold St. John at third, as that is just barely behind the third baseman. So now they have runners at the corner with only 1 out for Kyla Woods, the first baseman.
Kyla Woods, who will be having her first at-bat of the season.
She's looking for her first hit on the season. Great opportunity here with a runner in scoring position. That one's in the dirt, and they are going to give that one to Pardo as she steals second. So now there is a runner at at second and third. So 2 runners in scoring position, as that is fouled off for a 1-1 count. Woods looking to possibly tie the game if she can find a gap somewhere.
And Woods fouls it to third base, and it's caught with 2 outs.
Some unfortunate luck there, as there's now 2 outs with Daniel Fry coming up to the plate for the Knights.
Daniel Fry looking to record her first hit of the season. And the first pitch is high for a ball.
Fry is 0 for 5 on the season, looking for her first hit. As that one catches the corner for a strike, the count is 1-1. Just a bit low and inside for ball 2. She swings at that one but misses for and it is now a 2-2 count to Fry.
And Fry, and the pitch is dropped for his third strike. But Fry will be thrown out. And that will be the end of the second inning.
The Knights had a couple runners in scoring position but could not capitalize to bring them home, so it is still 2-0 West here in the top of the third inning.
Sorry for a couple mistakes I made.
No, you're good. I guess I could ask you, since they're warming up, I guess what I could ask you is, like, I could be like, so Parker, what have you seen from both teams through the first 2 innings?
Okay.
Are you ready, or do you want some time to think about it?
Some time to think about it.
All right, hang on.
I mentioned that earlier. It's been a game of pitching, but there have also been some runners and stuff.
Yeah, well, whenever you're ready, just let me know. Either tap me on the shoulder or, well, yeah, that'll work. Just tap me on the shoulder whenever you're ready.
So, what would be good for us to talk about? When we talk about the hitting and the pitching.
How the St. Charles West hitting started off well in the first inning, and then you could talk about how it's been a pitcher's duel ever since.
Should we start now?
If you want to, are you ready? You ready?
Yes.
All right, getting ready to start the top of the third inning. Parker, what have you seen from both teams through the first 2 innings?
Well, starting the game off, St. Charles West hitting was great, but lately the Knights pitching's been able to stop them lately.
Yeah, this is the first pitch is outside to Morgan Uhas. Swung and missed for strike 1. Parker, as you mentioned, the St. Charles West Warriors started off pretty strong hitting-wise, but then the pitching by Server and the pitch
It's fouled
swinging
back.
fouled back right towards us, but that is out of play. Still 1-2 the count.
Morgan Uhas, who is looking to get her first hit of the season.
And the pitch, just a bit high. 2-2 the count. Severe getting the sign from her catcher, and here's the pitch.
And it's hit.
Ripped to the shortstop.
And she is out.
Adria Schmidt gets the out there.
Up next to bat, Kaylee Thomas. Coming in with a 2.86 batting average.
Her first time up, she popped up to the second baseman, Lucy St. John.
And the pitch is low.
Jumps over that pitch, almost hits her. No, she walked. Sorry. In the first inning and later ended up scoring.
And Sarah Porkney with a pop fly next to the shortstop. And Kaylee Thomas will advance to third as Sarah Porkney records a double.
So that is runners at second and third with only one out for Alyssa King coming up to the plate. Sarah just barely getting over the shortstop, Schmidt. And they sent Thomas there, and she was safe. Throw was a little bit off from the center fielder, Oding.
First pitch is fouled back.
Fouled right back to us. 0-1 the count. Last time King came up to the plate, she ripped a double or a triple, which scored a couple runs. Swings and misses at that one. 0-2 to count. Brissette, the catcher, looked like she was going to try to throw out the runner at third. On to the count to King.
And the pitch is low. 2-2. The count for Alyssa King.
Great block by the catcher, Brissett, to make sure that did not go by her. Might have scored a run if the ball passed her.
And she swings at the and misses.
Does a strike. Alyssa King strikes out on that one. And Brissett throws down to see if she could get Thomas napping, but Thomas was safe at third. As here comes Mikayla Chowing up to the plate. Last time up, she grounded out to the shortstop, but a run did end up scoring on that play. As that pitch is high for a ball. And the pitch. Umpire calls time. Looks like a bug hit him. Looks like a bug flew into his eye. All right, count is 1-0 to Chowing. Is that is fouled back for a foul.
1-1. The counts for Chowing.
With 2 outs, Chowing looking for something to hit. As she swings at that one, but that is going to
foul.
Land foul. As we had a crowd of Knights chasing after the ball. As that was Lucy St. John and Kyla Woods, both chasing after the ball.
And
That is going to bounce off the shortstop's arm. Throw to the plate is not in time, and that is going to bring in a couple runs. That is going to be an error on the shortstop, Adria Schmidt, to bring in both Picorni and Thomas.
And now the Warriors are leading 4-0. Up next to bat, is Brooke Wilson. And the pitch is high for a ball. 1-0 the count for Brooke Wilson.
Last time Wilson came up to the plate, she did pop it up to the third baseman, Pardo. As that pitch is going to be high for a ball. 2-0 the count.
As that pitch is right down the middle for a strike. 2-1 for Brooke Wilson.
As that pitch is going to be high, and the throw down the third is not in time. As that is caught in the bottom half of the plate for a strike. 3-2 count to Wilson.
The count is full.
And just a bit inside calls the umpire, and that is going to be ball 4.
And Mikayla Chowling will advance to second. Up next to bat
is Ariel Pint. Last time Pint came up to the plate, she grounded out to the third baseman. As Coach Donahue calls time for the Knights.
Yeah, are you good? Oh yeah, I'm feeling pretty hydrated.
Okay, if you need water, just let us know.
Okay. Sorry, it took a while for me to figure out his aerial pellet. I was looking back at the order. I'm getting a little more confidence. I'm learning what to do and what not to do when announcing. Looks like St. Charles will get their first win this season.
And there has been a pitching change for the Francis Howell North Knights as number 10 Maggie Majeski comes in to pitch for number 12, Audrey Severe. As Ariel Pint swings at the first pitch, but misses. 0-1 to count. And the pitch ends up being missed by the catcher for a ball, and both runners advance. Both runners are now in scoring position with 2 outs.
And the count is 1-1. And the pitch is inside. As the third baseman misses the ball, and 1 run will score as they hold the runner at third.
That is going to be an error on the third baseman, Pardo, as she misses the ball. Looks like they had an opportunity to get out the base runner, Chowing. It's 2-1 is the count. Now being a 5-0 game here in the top of the third.
And the pitch is high for a ball. 3-1, the count for Punnett, excuse me. As she grounds to third, and she is out.
As the Knights finally get out of that inning, giving up a couple runs, now being a 5-0 game here going into the bottom of the third. The 1, 2, 3 hitters coming up for the Knights here in the bottom of the third. And as we get the bottom of the third inning started, here comes Lucy St. John up to bat. First inning, she tried to bunt her way on, but popped it up to the pitcher, Wilson, to start off the Knights' half of the inning.
And the first pitch, she swings and fouls it back. 0-1 the count for St. John.
As here comes the pitch. That pitch is high for a ball. 1-1 the count to St. John. As she came into this game with a .333 average, as she grounds that to the second baseman and is barely out. Close play at first.
Up next to bat, Adria Schmidt.
As that was Kaylee Thomas to put out St. John. That one was a bit low, but she swung and missed for strike one. Last time Schmidt came up to the plate, she got hit by the pitch and was stranded at second base.
And she hits and grounds to third, and she is out.
Almost beat that one out.
Up next, Alyssa King. No, wait, excuse me. Emma Oding. As she swings and pops up, and it's caught.
That was a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Knights as the St. Charles West Warriors are coming back to the plate.
I think I'll probably say for both our defense and offense. And mention that we had a couple errors and that we need to work on our pitching.
As here comes Madison Meyer up to bat, and she grounds out back to the pitcher, Majeski, for the first out of the inning.
Up next to bat, Tori Crawl. The pitch is low for a ball. 1-0 for Crawl.
She struck out her last time up in the second inning.
And she swings and grounds to the shortstop, and she is out.
That was heading for the hole, but that was the shortstop, Schmidt, to make that backhand play and throw out Crawl just in time.
Good play from the shortstop. Good throw.
As Morgan Uhas comes up, last time she was up, she grounded out to the shortstop, Schmidt.
As she swings out a low pitch for a strike.
0-1 the count. Swings at an inside pitch for strike number 2. 0-2 to count. The Knights looking to get out of this inning with very little damage, as Majeski has come into the game and she's been pitching excellent here. As that has popped straight up, and 3 Knights charge it, but nobody can come up with it. Still 0-2 the count to Morgan.
As the pitch is high for a ball. 1-2.
Here comes the pitch.
And that pitch is fouled back. Still 1-2.
Still 1-2 the count to Morgan Uhas. She is battling back here, trying to stay alive this at bat, as it's been a 2 up, 2 down so far, and she swings at it for out number 3. The Knights coming up to the plate here in the bottom of the 4th inning, trailing by 4. With the 4, 5, and 6 hitters coming up for the Knights.
Should we talk about what's been going good and what hasn't?
You want to start that now?
Yep.
All right, so I'll ask you like what's been working for the Knights and what hasn't been working. And then you fire your answer. As we get ready to start the bottom of the 4th inning, Parker, what have you noticed from the Knights? What has been working for the Knights, and what do the Knights really need to work on to score some more runs and get back in this game?
Well, their defense certainly has gotten better. They had a great inning in the 3rd. They started out struggling after giving up 5 runs, but played a good 3rd inning. I'll say that right now they need to really work on their hitting and their contact and power.
Their offense has been struggling. They had 2 runners in scoring position in the 1st inning and could not capitalize. And same thing with the 2nd inning. They had 2 runners on in scoring position and still couldn't figure out a way to get in the runs. Once again, if you are now joining us live, you're on FHNtoday.com/live. My name is Gavin Anderson, bringing you tonight's varsity girls softball along with Parker Kalin to announce tonight's game. As number 14, Becky Brissett, starts off the inning for the Knights. Her first at-bat came up in the 1st inning where she popped up to the shortstop to end the inning.
The first pitch is right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 for Brisket. And she swings and fouls the second pitch down the 3rd base line. 1-1. And the 3rd pitch is in the dirt for a ball. 2-1 the count for Brisket.
Looking to get the offense started here as that pitch is high, 2-2 to count. And that is ripped down the 3rd base side. 3rd baseman bobbles it, and Brisket is going to reach on the air by the 3rd baseman, Mikayla Chowing, to get the Knights offense started here.
Up next we have Audrey Sevier.
Last time Sevier came up to the plate, she struck out.
The first pitch is swung at and missed from Sevier. 0-1. As Brisket thought about stealing.
Looked like a breaking ball by Wilson to start off the at-bat.
And she flies the second pitch into left field, and it's caught.
A nice basket catch by the left fielder, Ariel Pint.
Up next to bat, we have Lily St. John.
Last time she came up to the plate, she got a single. Looking to see if she can repeat what she did back in the 2nd inning.
And she bunts, but the bunt is foul.
Looked like she tried to move up her runner at first, Brissett. Now the corner infielders are coming in, anticipating another bunt here. As that pitch is a bit high. 1-1 the count. St. John really didn't look like she was trying to bunt on that one, so maybe it was meant to bring the infield in.
As the pitch is low and in the dirt for a ball. 2-1. The count for St. John.
2-1 the count. Knights still trying to find a way to get on the board as they're still down by 5 here in the 4th inning.
As the pitch is in the dirt, and Becca Brisket with the steal.
Brisket advances the second as that pitch was in the dirt to St. John, as that is going to be a 3-1 count with Ella Pardo on deck for the Knights. As St. John pulls the bat back, and that is going to be ball 4 for St. John.
Up next to bat, Ella Pardo.
Back in the second inning, Pardo came up and got a single, looking once again to see if she can drive in a run, find a gap anywhere to get her Knights on the board.
As she swings and fouls off the first pitch. 0-1 for Pardo.
Knights looking like they can get something started this inning. They need to get their bats working. Shows bunt, and it's going to be a double steal as both Brissett and St. John both advance. So that is going to put both runners in scoring position with only 1 out.
Great running from Becca Brisket this inning so far.
Brissett stealing 2 bases this inning, getting herself in scoring position, as that was a swing and miss by Pardo. 1-2 the count, looking just to make contact here, seeing if she can drive in the first run for the Knights. Staying alive. Still 1-2 to count. Staying alive, fouling that one back. As her teammates are cheering her on to see if she can get something started. Here's the pitch. Just a bit high. 2-2 to count.
And Pardo flies it into left field. And the ball is dropped. And Becca Brisket is going to try and score, and she does.
Runner is out at third, but a run does score. Brisket comes in to score, but that is going to Lily St. John is going to be thrown out at third.
And the score is now 5-1 St. Charles West.
Pardo reached on an error.
Up next to bat, we have Kyla Woods.
That is actually Maggie Majeski coming in for Kaya, as the old pitcher Audrey Sevier went to first base to replace Kaya Woods.
Excuse me.
And they are going to intentionally walk Majeski. So Danielle Fry coming up to the plate with runners at first and second. As it looks like number 50, Sierra Joliffe, comes in to hit for Danielle Fry. All right, 2 down with runners at first and second. First pitch is fouled straight back for strike 1. And the 0-1 pitch.
Fouled again. 0-2.
Looking to get something started for the Knights as they did score their first run of the game. Looking to see if she can continue the Knight streak this inning. As that pitch is high. 1-2 the count.
And the pitch is high again. 2-2 for Sierra Jolliffe.
Jolliffe coming back this at bat, starting with an 0-2 count, and the count is now even at 2 apiece. Swings at ball 3, but that is going to be a strikeout for Jolliffe. The Knights do end up getting on the board, though, as it is a 5-1 game heading into the top of the 5th inning.
Are we going to have to write that down?
No, well, because I just wrote J-Lift down right under him.
Okay. By the way, was it okay for me to say excuse me after you?
Yeah.
All right. Could I also just have some water? I'm not dying or anything. I just starting to feel a bit more confident now.
That's good. And as we are getting ready to start the top of the 5th inning, Danielle Fry, who was pinch hit for by Sarah Jolliffe, is re-entering the game out in right field. As due up for the Warriors is number 12, Kaylee Thomas. She is 0 for 2 so far in this game.
As the first pitch is a strike right down the middle.
The ball catches the top half of the plate for a strike. Majeski looking dominant on the mound for the Lady Knights. As that one is low and swung at and missed by Thomas for strike 2, 0-2 the count.
We have a line drive into right field by Kaylee Thomas, and she will be safe.
Her first hit to start off the game is a line drive into right field.
Up next to bat, we have Sarah Porkney, excuse me. As she hits a grounder past the third baseman to the left fielder, and she will be safe. Runner on first and second, no outs.
St. Charles looking to bring some life of their own, as the first 2 batters of this inning get base hits, as Alyssa King is coming up to the plate for the Warriors.
As the first pitch is just outside for a ball. And the second pitch is right down the middle for a strike. 1-1 for King.
Those two pitches looked almost identical, but first one was called a ball, then a strike right after that. As that pitch is just a bit outside. Majeski really trying to paint the corners to Alyssa King, knowing that she got an RBI triple back up in the first.
And the third pitch is high for a ball, as both runners thought about stealing.
3-1 to count to King.
2-2. Wait, excuse me, 3-1.
Fouled on back. Full count to King. Almost landed in the trash can over by the baseball field.
And Alyssa King hits a high fly ball to left field, and it is caught.
That's Emma Oding out there to catch the ball. That was hit hard by Alyssa King, but did not find the green grass. That is the first out of the 5th inning.
Up next to bat, we have Mikayla Chowing.
She reached on an error back in the 3rd inning.
As she hits a grounder to the second baseman, and she is out.
That is going to move up both runners, though, into scoring position. As that was Lucy St. John to make that play. Two down for the Knights as Brooke Wilson comes up to the plate. Knights looking to get out of this inning after a rough start. As that pitch is just a bit high for ball 1.
And the second pitch is low for a ball. 2-0 for Wilson.
As the score is still 5-1 in the top of the 5th inning.
And the third pitch is high.
3-0 to count to Wilson. Majeski trying to find the strike zone without giving up any more runs. As that is going to be ball 4 to load the bases.
Up next to bat, we have Ariel Punette. With 2 outs and the bases loaded.
As Ariel Pint comes up to the plate with the bases loaded here.
As the first pitch is right down the middle for a strike. 0-1. And the second pitch is inside for a ball.
1-1 the count to Pint.
As the second pitch is fouled to right and almost got dropped.
Audrey Sevier almost making the play, but dropping the ball. 1-2 the count to Pint. The Knights just need one more strike to get out of this bases loaded jam.
As Ariel Punette swings and misses, and that will be the inning.
Coming up for the Knights is their 1, 2, and 3 hitters to see if they can get something going here in the 5th inning. Once again, if you're just tuning in to the live stream here on FHNtoday.com/live, my name is Gavin Anderson, alongside with Parker Keelan to bring you tonight's action.
I thought that was the end of the game, but I realized it was actually St. Charles' finishing.
I don't know if they're going to call it after 6 or 7, but it should be after 7.
Some earlier. Oh, I'm not really feeling any exhaustion or anything. I had some Gatorade earlier and feel. As a licensed CMT, I'll eventually die in a few years. Should we talk about? So who's first up to bat?
As Lucy St. John steps up to the plate for the Knights. She is currently 0 for 2 in this game, looking to get something started. The Knights really need to look for some hits here as they're down by 4 in the bottom of the 5th inning.
As Lucy St. John attempts a bunt.
Umpire said she went around for strike 1. Once again, the corner infielders are coming in after St. John shows bunt.
And she bunts this pitch.
And nobody's going to be there, and that's going to be a bunt single for Lucy St. John to get the Knights started here in the bottom of the 5th. Perfectly placed bunt by Lucy St. John, bunting it to the first baseman, so the first baseman could not come over and cover first base. And it took the second baseman a little while to figure out that she needed to cover first, and that is going to put St. John at first base with Adria Schmidt coming up to the plate with nobody out.
Great speed from Lucy St. John as well on that run first. As the first pitch to Adrienne Schmidt is fouled off a bunt attempt.
St. John having to go back to first base on that one since contact was made there. And that is going to be a double play as the bunt did not get down. And Lucy St. John was taking off on that one. Because that is going to be a 1-3 double play.
Up next to bat we have Emma Oding. And the pitch is low and in the dirt for a ball. 1-0 for Oding.
Fouling that one straight back to the backstop to even the count at 1. That was an unfortunate turn of events for the Knights, as it looked like they were going to get something started with Lucy St. John's bunt single, but it is going to be it ended up being a double play to bring it 2 outs. As that pitch is high for a ball, 2-1 the count.
She fouls that pitch back. The count being 2-2.
Looking to keep this inning alive for the Knights. That one is fouled back, as that is going to be still 2-2 the count. Nice catch by the fan over there on the Warrior side. Oding staying alive here. Still 2-2 count.
As Oding flies the ball, a pop flies to the second baseman, and it is caught.
caught by Kaylee Thomas. Looked like she misjudged it a little bit, but she ends up holding on to that ball, as that is going to be the third out of this inning. As it's going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming up for the Warriors here in the top of the 6th inning.
St. Charles West ends up winning, should we say? And St. Charles West has their first win of the season. Yeah, we can do something. They were pretty good last week. I don't know. I heard we were
So since we're the home team, we'll play the bottom of the 7th. So if we're winning, coming to the 7th inning, we only play the top of the 7th. Madison Meyer coming up for the St. Charles West Warriors. She's coming into this game, or coming into this at bat, 0-2.
And that pitch is fouled back. 1-0 for Meyer.
Count is 0-1 to Meyer. Here comes the pitch. Low and inside for a ball, 1-1 the count. Fouled straight back and out of play. Count goes to 1-2. Here comes the pitch.
Madison Meyer with a ground ball to the third baseman, and she will be out.
That is a nice throw by Pardo, and an even better stretch by Sevier to make sure that the runner was out. Close play over there at first. As Tori Crawl is coming up to the plate. Coming into this at-bat, 0-2 with the strikeout in the 2nd inning. As that one catches all the plate for a strike. Owen won the count. That is also fouled straight back and out of play.
0-2 for Crawl.
And the count is in Majeski's favor on the mound. Seeing if she can get out of this inning to get her team up to bat, as that is a ball, 1-2 to count.
As Tori Crawl fouls that one back.
Staying alive.
Count still 1-2.
And the pitch is coming in by Majeski.
And that pitch is fouled again.
Once again, fouled out of play. Crawl just trying to stay alive here, trying to get something started for the Warriors, as the count is still 1-2. And swing and a miss by Tori Crawl. That is the second out of this inning. Morgan Uhas coming up to the plate. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the St. Charles West Warriors have not been looking too good, as each hitter's 0 for 2. As that one swung on and missed for a strike. The pitch, just a bit low to even out the count at 1 apiece.
And
that is grounded out to the third baseman, thrown over
out
to the first baseman for an out.
Great
The Warriors go down 1-2-3 that inning. Once again, a nice play by the third baseman, Pardo. As the 4, 5, and 6 hitters come up for the Knights here in the bottom of the 6th, still trying to look to find a way to get their offense rolling. Okay, so I guess I could ask you, since we're coming up really to the last couple innings of the game, I could ask you like what the Knights need to do in order to get their offense rolling. Just let me know when you're ready. Okay, good.
Well, they could work on hitting, power hitting.
Well, I wouldn't really say power hitting, just I'd say more like they need to work on putting the ball in the gap and not making base running errors.
Yeah, true.
Because that last inning really hurt them.
Yep.
So just let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
You good?
Mm-hmm.
So as the Knights come up here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Parker, what do the Knights need to do on offense to capitalize and bring their team back?
Well, I would say they need to start hitting the ball through the gaps and make less base running errors, and they should be good then.
You're right. With the one mistake last inning with Adria Schmidt trying to bunt over Lucy St. John, but pop the ball up to the pitcher for a double play, they really need to work on limiting those base running errors. And they've been able to find some gaps to get on base, but they really need to work on what needs to happen when they have runners on base. Find ways to get the ball in the gap with runners on base, as Becca Brissett comes up to the plate to start off the Knights half of the 6th.
And she grounds the ball to third, and she will be out.
Barely out.
Close play there.
Nice play by Chowing. She knocked the ball down, but got the ball over to her first baseman, Uhas, with a nice stretch to get the first out of the inning. As that is a strike to Audrey Sevier. Audrey looking for her first hit of the game, as that pitch is just a bit high for a ball 1-1 to count to the first baseman, Sevier.
That pitch will be high for a ball to Sevier. 2-1.
Looked like that pitch was just high and a little bit outside, as that is a 2-1 count.
And
that one almost hitting Sevier for a 3-1 count.
And Sevier grounding the ball to third. And it gets past the third baseman, and she will be safe.
That is going to be an error on the first baseman, Chowing. When she made a play similar to that, not a hit as hard though, the previous at bat, but she could not find that one. The ball eats her up, and that is going to put Sevier on first with an E5.
And up to bat we have Lily St. John. And the first pitch is high and outside for a ball. 1-0.
Her first at bat back in the second inning, she ended up getting a single, and then looks like she grounded out in the fourth.
And the second pitch was high for a ball.
2-0 to count to Lily St. John.
As she hits that one past the third baseman, and Sevier will advance to second, and Lily St. John will make it to first.
That is going to be a single, a hard hit ball by Lily St. John. Don't really know if Chang would have been able to catch that, as she did get a glove on it, but that was a hard hit ball by Lily St. John, as that is going to bring up Pardo up to the plate. She is 1 for 2 with a single in the second and reached on an error, as that ball is going to be a foul. Runners at first and second with 1 out. The Knights have been doing this all day long, getting runners on base with 1 out, but struggling to find a way to bring them in. If the Knights can figure out a way to bring in some runs, they could bring themselves right back in this game, as they're still down by 4. It is still 5-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. As that is going to catch the lower half of the plate for a strike. 1-2 the count to Pardo.
And the pitch is high for a ball. 2-2.
Going to even the count back at 2-2 for Pardo. Like you said, Parker. Knights, like we mentioned earlier, still trying to find a way to put some points on the board. They do have that 1 run that they scored. Ooh, that caught the inside corner, according to the umpire, and that is going to be a strikeout for Pardo, as the pitcher, Maggie Majeski, comes up to the plate. As the field umpire and the coach are talking to each other. And it looks like the opposing coach is going to want the home plate umpires to talk about that last play over there at third. As Danielle Fry. And they are going to say the third baseman brought her foot off the base. So that is going to be an error on the third baseman, and that is going to have the bases loaded here for Danielle Fry coming up to the plate. Hopefully they can capitalize on that play.
The first pitch is high and outside for a ball. 1-0, the count for Fry.
The third baseman, Chowing, was not happy with that call by the umpires.
And the second pitch is fouled back.
As that is going to be a 1-1 count here to Fry. Fry is currently 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, looking to change her fate up at the plate. With the bases loaded and the Knights really needing some runs right here, as that pitch is going to be just a bit high for a ball. 2-1 the count to Fry. Here's the pitch. Swung and fouled back. Fry making some good contact, as the count is now even at 2 apiece. As it looked like the catcher, Meyer, was holding her mouth. It looked like something hit her in the mouth. And her coach comes out to check up on her, and she did not want him to, but they're going to check up on her anyway, see if she's okay to continue finishing this game. Coach pats Meyer on the helmet, and she's going to stay in the game. Apparently, the coach is saying that her face mask hit her on the chin as she was taking it off, and as that is going to be caught over there by the third baseman Chowing, and that's going to leave the bases loaded. Nice play by Chowing to make up for the costly fielding mistake. As the 1, 2, and 3 hitters will be coming up here in the last inning, top of the 7th, for St. Charles West. Once again, if you're just joining in for the final inning of high school softball, my name is Gavin Anderson to bring you tonight's action with Parker Kylan along with me to bring you the matchup between the St. Charles West Warriors and the Francis Howell North Knights. As Kaylee Thomas comes up for the St. Charles West Warriors as she tried to hold her swing back, but she was unable to, as that is going to be strike one. As that is going to be grounded out to the third baseman, thrown over to first for the first out of the inning. Nice play by Pardo over there at first base.
Up next we have Sarah Porkney.
First pitch is fouled straight back. Count is 0-1.
And that pitch is high for a ball. 1-1.
The 1-1 pitch.
And Sarah hits it high and deep into center field.
That's going to
back to the
one
wall.
hop the wall for a double. Nice piece of hitting by Sarah Picorni.
Up next to bat, we have Alyssa King. And that pitch is high. And the catcher misses, and Sarah Porkney will advance to third.
Picorni will advance on that wild throw. So runner at third base with one out. Safe back at third. That ball a little high to Alyssa King. Two and 0 pitch.
The pitch is low for a ball. 3-0.
3-0 to count to King. Looking to see if she can bring in her runner, Picorni, at third.
And she hits it deep to right center, and that will be off the wall, and Porkney will score.
And
Alyssa
Alyssa's going to get her her second triple of the game, and that's going to bring in the Corny.
Up next to bat, we have Mikayla Chowing.
That is King's second triple of today's game. She's been really seeing the ball well. Chowing swings and misses. 0-1 the count. It is now a 6-1 ball game here in the top of the 7th inning. That ball is low, 1-1 the count. That is going to be ripped up the middle for a single to bring in another run.
And the score is now 7-1 Warriors. And 1 out. And up next to bat, we have Brooke Wilson.
West looking to put this game out of reach as it is now a 6-run game here in the last inning. As that pitch caught the upper corner for a strike. The St. Charles West Warriors still trying to look for their first win of the season. It looks like they're trying hard to keep this game within their reach. Is that ball just a bit low? Looked like it might have caught the corner, but according to the umpire, that is just a bit low. As that is fouled down the third base side. 1-2 the count. Swung and missed. That is a strikeout for Majeski's. That is now 2 outs here in the top of the 7th.
And up next to bat, we have Ariel Punt.
Good block by the catcher.
As the count is 1-0 for Punt. Excuse me.
Looks like Hannah Howard is coming in. That is Lucy St. John, Adria Schmidt, and Emma Oding coming up for the Knights, looking to see if they can get a 7th inning rally going. As that one catches the strike zone for a strike. I'll probably ask you after the game what the Knights needed to work on to win the game, and then we'll end it, okay?
And that pitch is high for a ball.
1-1 to count.
And that pitch is high again. 2-1.
2-1 count. and then we'll be done.
And there, that is a strike against Brisket. And the count
Brisket
is now 2-2.
look down to her final strike, looking to see if she can do anything here.
And she grounds to the third base. And she will be safe.
That is going to be an error. And they're sending the runner home.
And Adria Schmidt
And
is
it's going to be a close play, and it's going to be safe at home. And Brissett is going to third base, as that is going to be an error on the third baseman, but that is going to bring home Adria Schmidt to bring home the second run of this game. Chowing just throwing that a little wide. And the coach is coming out to talk to his pitcher, Brooke Wilson.
Getting more productive hits with runners on, because they could get hits. They just couldn't get hits with runners on. They could bring up about how they need to get hits, more hits with runners on, and then once again the base running mistakes, just limit the base running mistakes.
And you could probably mention St. Charles getting their first win.
Yeah.
Because they probably will win.
Well, once they get their win, I'll say in St. Charles West with their first win of the season, and then I'll bring it to you and I'll ask you what the Knights needed to do, and then I will once again I'll announce and I'll flipping the stream, and then we'll be done.
They need to get better hits.
More hits with base runners on.
As Audrey Sevier coming up to the plate.
And that pitch is right down the middle for a strike. 0-1. And Sevier swings, and it goes past second base. And a run will score, and it is now 7-3 Warriors.
Becca Brissett coming into the scores. Audrey Sevier gets a single, so it looks like the Knights are getting some two-out rally going on.
Up next to bat, we have Lily St. John. And the pitch is high for a ball. 1-0, the count for St. John. As that pitch is down the middle for a strike. 1-1.
That pitch is also going to catch the upper part of the strike zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lily St. John trying to see if she can keep the momentum going, as it is a 7-3 game here.
And that pitch is low and in the dirt for a ball.
2-2 the count to St. John.
And St. John swings and pops it up. And it is caught, and that is the game.
That will be St. Charles West's first win of the season. Parker, what could the Knights have done better to improve what they did here today?
Well, during situations where we had base runners, they could have gotten some better hits that could have helped those runners score, which they did later in the game, but earlier in the game they could have had some better hits with the runners on bases.
Yeah, and they really need to cut back on those base running mistakes, as the Knights did have one mistake earlier. My name is Gavin Anderson. I was joined alongside Parker Kylan to announce the game. Also making sure that you got this game was Mike and Jake Willman working the camera, Ella Manthony working the score, and the producer Maddie Chenault. Be sure to join us next Tuesday, 9/11, for boys soccer versus Holt. Once again, my name is Gavin Anderson, bringing you tonight's game with Parker Kylan on FHNtoday.com/live.
Let's mention that base running mistake.